Hey there, Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, ordained on the internet. The caveat, as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do, well, that's on you, pal. We're going to talk about today a four-letter word that's everywhere, and it's very polarizing. Woke. There, I said it. Okay, I said it out loud. I'm going to use that word as least as possible as I can. I'm trying not to use that word as much anymore because it is polarizing. Um, it's unfortunate and yeah, I mean, I don't like being accused of being a racist when it comes down to it. I mean, literally, I got into a nice argument with one of my best friends where he said that, well, using that word is racist, and I countered, no, it's not. And but I think it's overused. Yet it cuts to the chase pretty darn quickly. I'm in the middle. I'm not a left wing. I'm not a right wing. I'm in the center. I need a left and a right wing to fly. Yet, I know this much that language, words, do change their meaning over time. And this four-letter word is part of it. And this four-letter word is definitely a four-letter word by now. Yet what I see is this. Remember, this is a hot take. This is an opinion. I'm neither right nor wrong. I just have an opinion. I'm a smart dude. I'm basically just, speaking my mind. I was made aware of the word woke basically in the early aughts, in the first century of the 21st century, the first decade of the 21st century, through Pharrell Williams. One of these things where now you woke, now you've been woke, and yes, it started in the African American community to denote this kind of, and this is just an allegory, or it's you're being shaken awake, like the house is on fire, you got to get up and we got to do something. And that its meaning has shifted, because it hasn't been co-opted by the right and to denote certain things a bit. Sure, yeah. But also, if you're reading your news feeds the way I do, it's being used quite liberally, no pun, by mainstream media. I see the word being used all the time now in major publications. Wall Street Journal, New York Times. I mean, are they racist for using the word? No. I mean, it's claims of racism, I think, are just using that word are just leverage to try to get you to not use it. Me personally, I'm just gonna make the conscious choice not to use it because it's kind of overused. And one of the things I like to say in my own glib, satirical way is that I half the time I feel like I'm Christ and I'm giving the Romans the nails they need to crucify me with. And that defines a lot of, modern culture these days. Just like, wow, just this, you can't say anything without offending someone, who's, a little oversensitive or so. And so why bother? Yet I see this. Okay. In 1991, when I graduated high school, we were all heading off to college. And my AP English teacher, Miss Early, she prepared us for going to college. We had to read this book called Cultural Literacy by Dr. E.D. Hirsch. And it was about culture, and it was about what the title says, about cultural literacy, about It was basically, what we would call gatekeeping today, but the laundry lists of things that a savvy person needs to know in order to have a sense of literacy navigating Western culture these days. And it was a pretty good book, for being an academic, nonfiction. But Ms. Early gave us a warning to us. I went to an all boys Catholic trade school in downtown Boston. So Ms. Early said this: I want to warn you about something on college campuses which is gaining momentum. It's called political correctness, and you're going to be faced with it going on to college. I went to college for 1 year to Northeastern University. It wasn't my thing, but I see this over the years, over the past 30 years, literally, that political correctness has morphed into what we call woke today, capital W. Yes, woke started as an African American term and a thing, an idea. But like many things that African American people invent, it's been, folded into the American tapestry, like jazz music, like rock and roll music, like good cooking, that's how I see it, So the word woke, it meant one thing, and it's changed its meaning, and it's adopted different things. I mean, look at the word queer. I mean, queer used to mean one thing. Now it means something a little different, and it's been destigmatized. The word gay used to mean one thing. It used to mean happy. It used to mean a feeling of gaiety, of happiness. Now it's capital letter, and it means something else. And woke, clearly, its meaning has been adopted to mean what political correctness used to mean has been distilled into a 4-letter word. And it's everywhere now. And I think it cuts to the chase. I think it gets to the heart of the matter. PDQ, pretty darn quick. If you say the word woke, you know exactly what someone's talking about, and pretty much their intention, I guess, as well, depending on which side of the aisle your feet are on at the moment. And again, I don't have my feet in on either side of the aisle. My feet are in the gutters because I'm a city boy. And I'm trying not to use that word anymore. I mean, because it's all stigma. It's lost any significance. It has no power because it's fluff. It's a buzzword. I mean, the New York Times uses it liberally. I mean, the Wall Street Journal uses it. It's everywhere now. It's the word is like NutraSweet. It's all additive, and it's pretty bad for you too. It's just it's high fructose corn syrup. It's what good does it do anymore to use it? But it's everywhere. It's like wokeness and is huge. But yeah, it's meant to describe negatively. It is a pejorative now. But is it racist? No. I'm of the opinion of, oh wow, you see racism everywhere. Well, you want to. Well, guess what? I see beauty everywhere because I want to. But yeah, what's the deal with woke? It is a 4-letter word, and it can't go away quick enough. Really, are the sentiments behind the word gonna go away? No, Um, I mean, was it well intended at one point? Yeah, totally. Um, but I mean, there's this huge idea of a culture war these days, and I feel like I'm driving the car and I'm like, wow, you kids, you can't get along. You're not going to see Disney World. And there's never going to be an end to the binary, to the left and right, to the red and blue, to the this and that. Why? People like it that way. People need an other to justify their feelings. But am I going to buy the notion that this word is harmful? No. I mean, it's we can laugh at it and depower it, and I just. But what's the hubbub behind it? Because people want control over ideas, and yet over the past 30 years, what was politically correct has become what we consider today capital W woke. And it's neither a good thing or a bad thing. It's just as is. But now this word has permeated culture, and it's become a label to describe just, what's wrong with things. Is there anything good about being woke? Is it, or is, I mean, I think there are just a lot of people in the middle saying WTF. And yeah, I mean, but that's about all I got to say for a touchy subject. Woke. It's a 4-letter word. It offends a lot of people, but also it's used by a lot of people. It cuts to the chase. And personally, this is the most I'm going to use that word in any kind of video or anything, going forward. No, it's there are a lot of 4-letter words that I'm sifting out of my vocabulary. I used to use the C word a lot. Oh gosh, yeah. Because why? Because I'm kind of an asshole. I could, but it's really offensive, and people are gonna think badly of you if you keep using that word. So I'm not using the C word. I make the conscious choice to take that out of my vocabulary. So the W word, I mean, it describes what I feel is just like wrong in agenda storytelling, and because that's permeated in my pop culture, and it's ruined it. It really has. My pop culture has been co-opted by the politically correct, and now it's being used as a platform for agenda in one side of the aisle, and it's off-putting, and it's made it unenjoyable. It's made it not fun. It's made it preachy, and this is where what defines woke: preachiness, agenda, platform, awareness, activism. I mean, things that are there are needs for, but in our pop culture, and in our entertainment, these need to be places where we can take a break from the world. But we're insisted by our moral superiors, by our intellectual superiors, by people who think they're better than us, that there is no rest for anyone, that this activism needs to be at you all the time. It never ends. And, I just feel that activism and wokeness has no place in our fictions. It has a place in the news and in protests, in organized places where you can get traction to to protest things and to get your point across. But as a necessary ingredient in fiction, in our stories, in our pop culture, in our sports, I mean, that's where woke becomes a pejorative, and that's where it earns its negative connotation. That you have infused wokeness into something where it doesn't belong because you insist it belongs, because you insist you need to turn this into a platform, that you insist that you need, that we wake up. Well, sometimes humans need a break from their worries. And that's where the pervasiveness of the politically correct, just it's I think it's obnoxious. I mean, I was talking with my therapist, my former therapist, and how I was telling them that at work that people would derisively refer to me as crazy, and I said to him that, and you honestly believe that people shouldn't use these words? And he's like, yes, that we need to correct people's language. And I'm like, that's really obnoxious. I mean, I'm a blue collar person. These are blue collar people. And I said to him, normies need their descriptors. They need to be able to use words in order to describe their feelings. Now, if I'm acting in a way that frightens them or cause them concerns, if I'm acting crazy, then maybe it's my responsibility to adjust my behavior and to realize my impact on those people around me with my stress, anxiety, and my panic. That I know that I'm not crazy, but don't normies need their words to describe things? So there is this obnoxious thing behind this thing about woke. It's obnoxious on all sides. It really is. It's a very obnoxious word. And I'm sorry to the African American community that, once again, that white culture has stolen something else from you. You know what I mean? It's not as cool as jazz or rock and roll, but all the same, it fits the pattern. And well, that's all I got for to say today, especially about woke. And hopefully that's going to be the last times you hear that word in any of my videos, because I don't want to be part of it. I'm not part of any solution. I'm not part of any problem. I mean, I only got so many heartbeats and hard-ons left in my body until I die, and why spend them on bullshit? And as I say, I can't be sold on bullshit. So give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of material. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Leave a comment in the comment section if you could be so kind. Let's continue this conversation. And give me a subscribe if you'd like. I'm an amateur theologian. I make spirituality videos. I'm an ordained minister. I'm also a professional chef. I make cooking videos. I give you restaurant quality hacks so you can make nutritious, delicious, and beautiful food to share with your loved ones at your table. That's all I got to say for today. Thank you so very much. God bless and namaste.